Imagine a library so vast it was said to hold every scroll ever written by humanity.
And then, one day it was gone, just like that, no trace. How could something so monumental simply vanish?
It was a place where the world's knowledge lived and then disappeared.
According to ancient chroniclers like Callimachus, the library's collection was unmatched anywhere in the known world.
Alexandria, a city built by Alexander the Great on Egypt's Nile Delta, was more than a trade hub.
It was the beating heart of ambition, the ambition to gather all knowledge in one place. Scholars from Egypt, Greece, Babylon, even India were drawn here, hoping to study, learn, and sometimes compete.
What would it feel like to stand among the greatest minds of the ancient world?
Ancient narratives mention scholars traveling hundreds of miles to study at the Museum, the Temple of the Muses, where the library was located.
But what exactly was inside this legendary library? Who decided which scrolls were worthy? And how did all of it, knowledge from across the world, vanish, leaving behind nothing but mystery? Centuries of wisdom could vanish in a moment, and the world would never be the same.
Modern historians like Luciano Canfora emphasize that the true scale and contents of the library remain debated, part fact, part legend. Now, let's go back to the very beginning, to the ambitious vision of Alexander the Great and the city that would become the world's first center of knowledge.
In 331 BCE, Alexander the Great founded Alexandria on the Nile Delta. It wasn't just a military outpost. It was a symbol of his vision to unite the Greek and Eastern worlds. From its very first stones, Alexandria was meant to be extraordinary.
After Alexander's death, Ptolemy I Soter became ruler of Egypt and continued the vision.
Alexandria grew into a thriving metropolis with the largest harbor in the ancient world. How did a city built in the desert become the center of the known world?
Ptolemy's vision went beyond politics and trade. He wanted Alexandria to become the greatest center of knowledge on Earth.
The Library of Alexandria would eventually become the crown jewel of this ambition.
This was the birthplace of a dream to collect the world's knowledge under one roof. Next, we'll step inside the Museum, the Temple of the Muses, where the Library of Alexandria became more than a collection of scrolls. It became a living center of learning. Ptolemy II Philadelphus and his predecessors built the Museum, a complex dedicated to the Muses. Included research rooms, gardens, an observatory, laboratories, living quarters, and, of course, the main library.
It was the world's first real research campus.
The library was highly organized, with scrolls cataloged by subject.
Astronomy, medicine, mathematics, literature, every field had its place.
Ships docking in Alexandria were required to surrender scrolls to be copied, adding to the collection endlessly.
Can you imagine a system like this in the ancient world? Museum wasn't just about collecting scrolls. It was a hub where scholars debated, experimented, and shared discoveries. Alexandria became the intellectual capital of the ancient world.
Knowledge here wasn't stored, it lived and grew.
With the museum complete, Alexandria began to amass treasures of knowledge from every corner of the ancient world.
The library collected hundreds of thousands of scrolls from Egypt, Greece, Persia, India, and Babylon. Works of Homer, Aristotle, and ancient Egyptian texts were translated into Greek.
Alexandria became the bridge connecting East and West through knowledge.
The library also housed ancient maps, Babylonian astronomical records, and Egyptian medical treatises. Every discovery from across civilizations found a place here.
Could any modern library rival such a collection?
Through these scrolls, ideas, science, and philosophy traveled across borders. Alexandria wasn't just collecting knowledge, it was shaping the world's intellectual future.
Every scroll was a step towards a shared human understanding.
Next, we'll meet the brilliant minds who made Alexandria not just a library, but a cradle of science and mathematics.
Euclid wrote Elements here, laying the foundation of geometry that we still learn today.
Imagine the principles you learned in school being born in this very city. Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference using just shadows and simple math. His accuracy amazed the world.
Could you do the same with just sticks and sunlight?
Herophilus and Eratosthenes advanced human anatomy through dissection, while Archimedes studied here before discovering the principles of levers and buoyancy.
Alexandria was the Silicon Valley of the ancient world, a place of collaboration and discovery. But what was life like inside these walls, day after day, for those who sought the world's knowledge?
Scholars lived at the museum, paid by the state, spending every day writing, copying scrolls, and debating the universe.
It was a life dedicated entirely to knowledge.
Callimachus created the Pinagus, a massive catalog listing all known works, a pioneering system to organize human knowledge.
Could you imagine cataloging the entire world's knowledge without computers?
The library smelled of papyrus and ink, lit by oil lamps, filled with endless discussion. Every corner was alive with curiosity.
Here, knowledge wasn't just stored, it thrived. As the collection grew, Alexandria expanded its reach, becoming a hub for knowledge from across the ancient world.
The collection became so vast that a new branch, the Library of Serapeum, was built to accommodate it.
Alexandria's ambition knew no bounds.
Ptolemy III sent agents across the known world to collect scrolls from India, Persia, and Babylon, making Alexandria the global exchange for knowledge long before Rome's peak.
Can you imagine the logistics of collecting knowledge from across continents without modern transport?
With every scroll brought in, Alexandria strengthened its role as the center of learning, a place where cultures converge through ideas.
The world's knowledge flowed into one city.
But this golden age would face its first great disaster, a fire that would change the course of history.
In 48 BCE, Julius Caesar besieged Alexandria during a civil war against Ptolemy XIII. Fires from the war spread to warehouses near the harbor, and some of the library's scrolls were destroyed.
In a single moment, centuries of knowledge were reduced to ashes.
Cleopatra tried to save what remained, even gifting scrolls from the Library of Pergamon, but the first great wound to Alexandria's knowledge was done.
Could any effort restore what was lost?
The loss was devastating, but Alexandria's influence had already reached far. Its ideas would survive through copies and translations.
Knowledge may burn, but ideas can endure.
Yet the library would face further decline under new rulers and shifting powers.
After Egypt came under Roman rule, the spirit of scholarship gradually faded.
Many scholars left, and political and religious shifts silenced others. The city remained grand, but the heart of knowledge was weakening.
In 391 CE, the Serapeum branch was destroyed by Christian forces under Theophilus amid religious conflict.
This marked the final chapter for the secondary library.
Faith and power reshaped the fate of knowledge.
By this point, the main library had already lost much, but its ideas persisted through the scholars who had left and their copied works.
Even in decay, Alexandria's influence echoed through time. Centuries later, stories of the library's ultimate fate became the stuff of legend and controversy. Some Arab sources claim that the Muslim conquest of the 7th century destroyed the remaining scrolls.
Yet modern historians argue the library was already long gone.
History blurs fact and legend, leaving the library shrouded in mystery.
While the physical library may have vanished, its knowledge survived, carried in copies and translations across civilizations.
Can true knowledge ever be fully destroyed? Even in absence, the spirit of Alexandria inspired future centers of learning.
Ideas, once unleashed, can never be contained. Finally, we look at the legacy, how Alexandria's dream lives on today.
Knowledge from Alexandria found new life in the Islamic Golden Age, translated in Baghdad's House of Wisdom. The library may have burned, but its ideas traveled far. In 2002, Egypt built the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, a modern homage to the ancient dream, symbolizing rebirth and the enduring value of knowledge. Today, it stands as a beacon for learning, research, and cultural exchange, continuing the legacy of Alexandria's ancient vision.
Centuries may pass, but the dream of knowledge never dies.
The Library of Alexandria reminds us that knowledge is fragile, yet ideas are eternal.
Protecting and sharing knowledge is a responsibility we inherit from the past.
From scrolls to servers, the pursuit of knowledge continues.
The Library of Alexandria may be lost, but its spirit guides every seeker of knowledge today.